Excellent. I was just about to tell the viewers that you're going to answer their mail in your own inimitable way.
My what?
Your own inimitable way.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? You've never heard of the word inimitable? You never heard that before?
Well, I've heard it before. I just never knew what it meant.
Weren't you at all curious what it meant? Didn't you think to go look it up in a dictionary?
You don't know what it means either, do you?
Yes, I do. I looked it up. It means recherche. Okay? Our first letter today asks for some advice from you, Uncle Red. It says, Dear Red, I'm in the market for a new car. Or new to me. I like used cars. I guess I'm a bit of an aficionado. Aficionado? What does that mean?
It means you can't afford a new car.
Well, how recherche? Any tips for the potential car buyer?
All right, that's a good one, Harold. I think when you're buying a used car, intimidation is the key. Don't just walk around the car kicking the tires, okay? Kick the fenders, kick the door panels, kick the headlights in, kick the dashboard.
What are you doing when you do that?
Well, you're trying to get the cost of the car down, and a car with kick marks all over it has got to be overpriced.
Oh, so I guess we can assume then the proper footwear is required.
Absolutely. I'd say the proper footwear is a key, as the intimidation is. And another thing is you want to ask them if you can take it for a test drive. If they say no, then I'd wonder about that. And they have tricks, Harold. I know when I bought my truck, they had Scotch taped a couple of extra spark plugs onto the engine to try to convince me that the V6 was a V8. I caught onto it.
Oh, yeah? How'd you do that?
Well, they fell off when I kicked the engine.
So kicking is important.
Well, it shows that you know cars. You know, I would even kick the salesman if you have to.
Oh, no. Wait a second, Uncle Red. I think you've gone over the top on that one. We do not want to advocate violence.
Yeah, well, all right. No, don't kick the salesman.
Right.
You know, but you might want to check the instrument panel. If you look at the odometer and you see a bunch of marks from a claw hammer, and it's a 10-year-old car with, say, 19 miles on it, I'd question that.
Yeah, that's really good advice. That's something to remember.
Yeah.
Uncle Red, is there like a good time or a bad time to buy a car?
Yeah, never buy a car at 3 o'clock in the morning.
All right, that's good. How about, like, North American cars versus domestic cars? No, I mean, not. I mean, like, Japanese cars versus imported. No, that's not right.
No, all right, I understand. I got it. With the Japanese cars, you get more features. But with the American cars, you get more metal. And when you think about it, you know, we're all going to have head-on collisions now and then. So you're better to give up the power sunroof and go with a little more momentum.
Well, I hope that answers all our viewers' questions.
Yeah, and don't forget to kick everything.
You know, other than about a week in October, I basically did nothing last year, and I was fine with that. But even though I was doing nothing, my mind was still thinking about stuff. Stuff that I hadn't done and should have. Stuff that I had done and shouldn't have. But mainly it was coming up with a lot more evidence that, as far as I'm concerned, proves that I'm right and almost everybody else is wrong. And that was fine too, but where I made my mistake was that I shared all that with my friends and especially my wife. And before you knew it, they were suggesting that I gather up all of those opinions and stories and take them on the road where they belong. I even went to see my doctor to make sure I was healthy enough to tour again, and he gave me the go-ahead. He said I probably wouldn't get sick on the road, but even if I did, he'd prefer I was thousands of miles away when it happened. So I put together a brand new show, and I'm calling it I'm Not Old, I'm Ripe. And we're going to be doing about 25 cities, starting in St. Pete, Florida on March the 30th, and we're going to end up in the middle of May somewhere out west. It's basically a lodge meeting, and if you want to find out where I'm going to be and when I'm going to be there, go to redgreen.com, click on the city that's nearest to you. I'm hoping you can all make it, or I'm hoping a few of you can make it. I think it's going to be my best show yet, and if you saw the first two, you know that's certainly doable. So looking forward to a successful tour. Otherwise, my friends and my wife are going to look like idiots. Until then, I'm hoping to see you at the lodge meeting. And meanwhile, keep your stick on the ice.